Hello, this is Brannon Jones, author of the award-winning College Readiness 101 Workbook series, here with another episode of the College Readiness 101 podcast. Now, today I'm going to be continuing my process, my series with the student's perspective. So today I have Miss Myra Lewis, one of Next Step Education's scholarship recipients for the class of 2021. I'm very excited to have you. How you doing, Myra?
I'm doing good.
Great. So for those who are going to be listening on this podcast and for those who are going to be watching on YouTube, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, well, my name is Myra Lewis, and I'm from Charlotte, North Carolina, and I major in biology.
Majoring in biology, and you are going to Howard University.
Yes.
All right. All right. So what I've been talking to college students, and I know you just got there, right? You just got there recently. I've been kind of talking about their experience, giving some nuggets, those students and parents who are going to be coming behind you, getting ready for a college experience. So just kind of tell us a little bit about your college preparatory process. Before you got to college, what were kind of like you and your parents doing to prepare for you getting to this college?
So my prep, I would say, starting freshman year, the first day, I always knew I had to make good grades. I had to do well in school. Just keep pushing no matter the circumstance. And even those classes and those teachers who like really were hard and worked your nerves and it got stressful, I really made sure I pushed through. Even this, my last semester of senior year probably had to be my hardest because it was online and virtual and COVID was all around and it was just really stressful. But I had to push through it. And, I ended up doing well, of course, but, having to push through. So just making sure I had those good grades and academically ready.
Yeah, well, I can only imagine, being a high school senior during COVID, like that would be crazy, right? Did you have a lot of difficulties with your teachers or with your counselors or those individuals that you had to kind of connect with virtually?
Well, personally at my school, my high school is a really big high school. So, counselors, they had like hundreds and hundreds of students for one person. So it was hard sometimes getting in contact with my counselor and making sure he stays on top of doing A, B, C, D, E, F, G with my college applications. But, you just got to stay on, and that would be my advice, just stay on your counselors. Even if you don't have that super personal connection with them, just staying on top of them.
Right.
They're dealing with a lot of students.
I'm just so happy that, I feel for you and your classmates, right? You just happen to be class of 2020 and class of 2021. Y'all just happen to be, seniors at that time, right?
Yes.
So I feel for you on that. I can't imagine what that was like.
Yes.
So you are now at Howard University.
Yep.
Yeah. And you recently got there. So right now, are you in a virtual setting or are you kind of face-to-face right now?
Right now, I have most of my classes are online except for one of my labs, and that's in person. But they're slowly starting to tell us when we might go back to in person or stay virtual. It's really just dependent on how big your class size is.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah. Well, that makes sense. So they are taking precautions for students to still be, safe.
Yes.
Okay, that's great. All right. So let's talk about it. Howard University, a prestigious HBCU, right? A lot of people would say the Mecca, right?
Yes.
Well, let me ask you this. So you are from North Carolina. What is it that made you settle on Howard, right? What is it about Howard? And we'll talk about just overall HBCU experience, period. But what is it that got you interested in Howard?
Well, of course, the attention drawn to Howard. Everybody looks at Howard. Everybody likes Howard. Everybody just has this awe for Howard. And now that Kamala Harris, is our vice president, it just makes it even more exciting. So I love the attention that was drawn towards Howard. But I knew I didn't want to stay in North Carolina, and I didn't really have a reason why. I just knew I didn't want to stay in North Carolina. I wanted to be exposed to somewhere new. So I think that was my main reason on why I didn't choose an in-state school. But at the end of the day, my last two schools that I was debating on was Howard versus Hampton, which is kind of crazy at the end of the day, but it really came down to money. But I love the atmosphere of Howard. I love it, the fact that it's in the city and there's always something going on, but the community here is very present.
Okay. Well, that makes a lot of sense. So, yep. So I definitely see the prestige and, how people could be interested and excited about Howard University. But did you go out seeking an HBCU experience overall, or did you was Howard and Hampton just two of the schools that was in the pick of a litter of all types of schools that you were interested in?
By the start of my senior year, I knew I wanted to go to an HBCU. I figured it out. I was like, yeah, I can't do a PWI. I went to a really, really white high school, and I was just like, yeah, I need more culture. I need to be surrounded by people who look like me, who also want to do well. So that was my reasoning behind going to an HBCU. But yeah, it did end up coming down to Howard versus Hampton. So
okay, all right. Well, yeah. I also am an HBCU grad. I went to Albany State here in Georgia, and so I love my HBCU experience. I played football. I love Black college football. It was just a way to really connect. And at the time, Albany State was the only school that had my major in the state of Georgia. I wanted forensic science, and so I know it's a big major everywhere now, but at the time, it was the only school that offered it as a major, and so Albany State was for me. And so, that's how I chose it. And so, like you said, the prestige and I think you like the notoriety that Howard has. Obviously, our vice president currently right now, and so I think that there are a lot of success stories coming out of Howard. And it's in DC, right? So you are living city life almost, right?
Yeah, very much city life. I walk everywhere. I take the subway.
Wow. Yep. You're definitely in the city. Okay. All right. So Howard, you did want the HBCU experience. That's great. I love that. But what do you plan on doing there? So one of the big things we talk about with students is being active and being engaged and understanding kind of what you want to do. So I know that you, based on your scholarship application, was a dance person, right? You were a dancer.
Yes.
So what do you plan on doing there while you're in Howard? I know you just got there. This is your freshman year. But what do you plan on doing, and how do you plan on getting engaged in the college life?
So outside of my academics, I am on the dance team here at Howard. Okay. So that has been really, really fun. I've met some really good people. I see them all the time. They're like my good group of friends. But academically, I am very excited because my major is one of the biggest majors. It's biology. So I'm already meeting people who are bio majors, and we all want to go to med school, and it's really exciting, actually. Right. But of course, I want to be in clubs and like different organizations, and I'm just excited to see when they all start to arise, because my first 2 weeks here, people were still moving in, and they scattered move in, so people were still moving in, and I was doing a lot with the dance team. But now that the college campus has been back to normal almost, I'm starting to see new organizations come about. So I'm excited.
Right. So this is what we're going to do. I am going to interview you in the next year or two. I'm going to see how this worked out for you, as you progress through your college experience. So I appreciate these nuggets. Thank you so much for sharing these things with me and these students who's coming behind you.
Yes.
All right. So we'll go ahead and close this one out. So if you like what you're hearing and you want to learn more, you can subscribe to this podcast or my YouTube channel, collegereadiness101.com. Or you can visit me on my social media platforms, Instagram and Facebook at College Readiness 101. We'll talk to you next time.
Bye.